For decades, the 5.0-liter V8, better known as the Coyote engine, has been one of the most beloved power plants ever produced by Ford Motor Company. Found in the Mustang, F-150, and other performance-oriented models, this engine has built a reputation for strong performance, a high revving character, and solid long-term durability. But like any modern engine, especially one that balances power, emissions, and efficiency, the 5.0-liter V8 hasn't been completely free of issues. Owners have reported a handful of recurring concerns over the years, ranging from oil consumption to ticking noises and cold start quirks. Now Ford appears to have quietly addressed many of these concerns with a new fix. One that could dramatically improve owner satisfaction, longevity, and confidence in the engine moving forward. Let's break down what this fix is, why it matters, and why 5.0-liter V8 owners should be genuinely excited. The legacy of the 5.0-liter Coyote V8. Before diving into the fix, it's important to understand just how significant this engine is. The modern 5.0-liter Coyote debuted in 2011 as a clean-sheet redesign of Ford's V8 architecture. It replaced the older modular V8 and immediately stood out for its high-revving nature, 700-plus RPM capability, strong horsepower output, lightweight aluminum construction, and advanced variable valve timing. Over time, Ford continued refining the engine across multiple generations. Gen 1, 2011 to 2014, strong base with some early quirks. Gen 2, 2015 to 2017, improved airflow and efficiency. Gen 3, 2018 to 2023, direct injection added for more power. Gen 4, 2024 and beyond, further refinements and durability upgrades. Despite these improvements, some issues persisted, especially in Gen 3 engines. The problems that frustrated owners. While the 5.0-liter Coyote V8 is widely respected, certain complaints have been consistent across forums, dealerships, and long-term ownership reports. 1. Oil consumption concerns. One of the most discussed issues has been excessive oil consumption, particularly in some 2018 and newer models. Owners reported a frequent need to top off oil levels dropping faster than expected, and concerns about long-term engine wear. 2. The infamous ticking noise. Another common complaint is the Coyote tick, a ticking or tapping noise heard at idle or low RPM. While often harmless, it caused anxiety among owners because it sounded like valve train wear. It was inconsistent across vehicles and initially lacked a clear explanation. 3. Cold start knock. Some drivers noticed a brief knocking sound during cold starts, especially in colder climates. Experts suggested this could be related to piston to cylinder wall clearance, oil flow timing, and combustion characteristics at startup. 4. Direct injection side effects. With the introduction of direct injection in Gen 3, carbon buildup became a concern, something common across many modern engines. Ford's new fix. What changed? Ford's new fix isn't a single component. It's a combination of engineering refinements, software updates, and revised internal tolerances that collectively address these issues. Improved piston and ring design. One of the biggest changes is in the piston and piston ring configuration. Experts point out that revised ring tension helps reduce oil consumption, improved sealing minimizes blow-by, and better material coatings reduce wear over time. Oil consumption in high-performance engines is often a balancing act. Ford's updated ring design appears to improve sealing without sacrificing efficiency. Updated engine calibration and ECU tuning. Ford has also refined the engine software calibration. This includes optimized fuel delivery at startup, better ignition timing control, and smoother idle behavior. We're seeing a shift where manufacturers are using software and material science to solve problems that used to require major mechanical redesigns. So, how does Ford's updated V8 stack up against the competition? Well, Ford's improvements come at a time when V8 engines are facing some pretty intense competition, not just from other brands, but also from the rise of electrification. When you look at it compared to GM's small block V8s, Ford's Coyote engine revs higher, while GM engines usually stick with a simpler pushrod design. Ford's recent updates have actually brought it closer to Ram's Hemi in terms of reliability, which is something a lot of folks have noticed. Now, compared to the Hemi, the Coyote is more technologically advanced, but the Hemi still has a reputation for simplicity and torque. Ford's fix, though, is really about improving long-term durability, which is a big deal for anyone thinking about keeping their vehicle for the long haul. So, What does all this mean for the future of Ford's V8? Well, honestly, this fix isn't just about helping current owners, it actually signals where Ford is heading with its V8 program. Even though there's a lot of talk about electrification these days, Ford seems pretty committed to keeping the V8 alive, especially in trucks like the F-150, performance cars like the Mustang, special editions, and those enthusiast models that people really love. Experts are saying that future versions of the Coyote will keep evolving. There's even talk about hybrid integration, which could boost performance, and of course, making sure these engines last even longer is going to stay a top priority. Should current owners be worried? If you already have a 5.0-liter V8, here's the good news. Not every engine is going to have these issues. A lot of the problems are actually pretty minor or even just cosmetic. Honestly, proper maintenance really does go a long way here. Still, it's smart to check for software updates, use the recommended oil types, and just keep an eye on how your engine is behaving. In some cases, dealerships might even apply updated components or recalibrations for you. Now, is this fix available right now? The answer is yes. The improvements are already rolling out in newer models, especially the latest Mustang generations, updated F-150s, and recent production engines. Some of these updates might also show up as technical service bulletins, software updates, or revised replacement parts, so it's definitely a good idea to check with your local dealership for all the details. Let's zoom out a bit and look at the bigger picture here, refining a legend. The 5.0-liter Coyote V8 has always been a standout engine, but like any modern design, it needed some tweaks. Ford's latest fix really shows they're listening to customer feedback, working to boost real-world reliability, and making sure they don't lose that classic performance heritage. This isn't some wild redesign, it's more of a smart evolution, and sometimes that's exactly what an engine needs. For years, the 5.0-liter V8 has been a cornerstone of Ford's lineup, bringing power, personality, and a whole lot of excitement. And now, with these new fixes, it's becoming something even better, more refined, more reliable, and just more confidence-inspiring all around. For current owners, that's pretty reassuring. For future buyers, it's honestly a green light. And for enthusiasts, it's proof that the V8 isn't going anywhere anytime soon. The Coyote isn't just surviving, it's evolving. This latest update shows Ford still knows exactly what enthusiasts want. What makes this update especially interesting is that it doesn't depend on one big dramatic redesign, but instead, it's a series of small, really targeted improvements that all work together. That's actually how a lot of modern engines evolve, quietly, behind the scenes, but with a real impact in the real world. Instead of reinventing the Coyote, Ford is focused on refining its weak points, the exact areas that owners and technicians have been talking about for years. The changes to the piston and ring design, for example, might seem minor at first, but they have a direct effect on how the engine performs over thousands of miles.